Okay, picture this. You're standing at the supermarket checkout. You hear the beep of the scanner, the usual background chatter, just everyday sounds.
Normal stuff.
But listen closer. Beneath that hum, there's maybe a faint echo of something else, like the buzz of a bank's trading floor.
It's interesting you put it like that, because these two worlds, everyday retail and high finance, they aren't really separate anymore, are they?
Exactly, they're colliding. Quietly, maybe, but definitely colliding right here in South Africa.
Yeah, you've got the grocery giant Shoprite sort of stealthily becoming this huge fintech force.
And the money market accounts, they're not just a side thing. Millions of people are using them. It's a direct shot at Absa, who've kind of owned everyday payments for ages.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is it's not just companies battling. It's driven by two very different leaders, two visionaries.
Right, each with their own background, their own values, their own way of doing things, and their decisions have put these giants on a collision course.
A course that could, honestly, reshape how money works for a lot of people.
So what does this clash actually mean? For you listening, for the future of finance, where does innovation even come from these days? That's what we want to dig into today.
We'll unpack the backgrounds, the values, the big strategic moves that got us here.
Now, just a quick note before we jump in. We obviously can't know every single behind-the-scenes detail.
Of course not. These are complex, ongoing stories.
Right. So what we're sharing is based on publicly available stuff, news reports, company statements, official records. We're giving you the best picture possible from what's out there.
It's about piecing together the clearest view we can, understanding the forces at play and what it might mean for how we all handle our money down the line.
Okay, so to really get this, we need to start maybe somewhere unexpected, not a bank boardroom.
No, more like the supermarket aisle.
Exactly. Let's talk about the first leader here, Pieter Engelbrecht. He's the CEO of Shoprite.
Now, when you think fintech disruptor, you probably picture someone from, like, Silicon Valley, right? A tech bro.
Yeah, not necessarily a chartered accountant by training, but that's Engelbrecht. He found his real groove, it seems, in the retail world.
He's kind of the unlikely disruptor here, and his journey really shows how one person's background could totally steer a company, maybe even shake up a whole industry.
So his foundation, he got a BCom from Stellenbosch, then honors in accounting science from UNISA. Solid finance grounding.
Very solid. Then he did time at PwC, the big accounting firm from 93 to 95. After that, a stint at Harwell as accounting and operations manager.
That mix seems important, doesn't it? The hard finance knowledge plus the operational get your hands dirty experience.
Absolutely. It's a powerful combination. He understands the numbers, but also how things actually work on the ground. That's pretty rare, especially compared to some traditional finance leaders.
And you can see how that prepared him for Shoprite. He joined in 1997.
And didn't hang around. His rise was, well, fast. He took over their project office pretty quickly.
And started launching some really key initiatives, things we take for granted now.
Yeah, things like the money market counters, which, as you said, are crucial to this whole story. But also, you save stores, focusing on affordability. Liquor shop, too.
He also drove some big acquisitions, right? Computikit, the ticketing company, and Transpharm, a pharmaceutical distributor.
Broadening their reach, diversifying. By 2005, he's already chief operating officer.
And then CEO in January 2017. It's a textbook climb, really, but built on actually delivering stuff.
But it's not just about climbing the ladder. It's about his philosophy. He talks about being a business with heart.
Okay, is that just PR speak, or is there substance there?
I think there's real substance.
Yeah.
It seems to be a core principle. Balancing profit, sure, but with big societal goals like tackling hunger, making things affordable, creating jobs.
Especially for lower income customers, right? The ones maybe traditional banks haven't always served that well.
Exactly. And that focus, that commitment, is arguably what turned Shoprite into this low-price leader across Africa. It's driven by innovation, yes, but also this relentless customer focus.
And the numbers back it up. You look at their performance under him, it's been exceptional.
Take the first half of 2024. Sales hit $121.1 billion. That's what, about $6.4 billion US dollars?
Yeah.
A nearly 14% jump.
And his own earnings reflect that growth are $83 million, around $4.5 million US for 2024. It shows alignment with the company's success.
But here's the really clever part, I think. Engelbrecht didn't just aim for a niche. He used what they already had, the stores, the checkout lines, as a low-cost way to deliver financial services.
Something banks, with their branches and legacy systems, find really hard to copy cheaply.
Right, so by offering services to the unbanked or underbanked, ShopRite isn't just doing good, they're tapping into this massive market that others weren't reaching effectively.
So social impact and market share go hand in hand.
Precisely. It shows that purpose, that heart, can actually drive profit. So Engelbrecht isn't just a CEO, he's a retail disruptor, a strategist changing the game in finance access, affordability, inclusion.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, how a grocery chain starts to see itself completely differently, stepping way outside its traditional box.
And that sets the stage perfectly for the other side of this story.
Absolutely. If Engelbrecht is the bold challenger, then Kenny Fihla. He's the seasoned defender, now tasked with protecting, maybe transforming, a legacy institution.
Let's shift gears to Fihla. He's the incoming group CEO of Absa. He brings a different kind of strength, maybe the resilience needed to steer a giant ship through changing waters.
And his background is pure banking, right? Deep experience.
Oh, yeah. Over 20 years in financial services. He held some seriously senior roles at Standard Bank, another African banking giant.
Like what kind of roles?
Well, CEO of their Corporate and Investment Banking Division, CIB. That's the big clients, complex deals. He was also deputy CEO of the whole Standard Bank Group, and even CEO of Standard Bank South Africa for a time.
So he knows the banking world inside out, from strategy to operations.
Completely. He's lived and breathed it at the highest levels.
And his track record there, at Standard Bank.
Pretty stellar. While he led CIB from 2017 to 2024, they actually doubled their headline earnings, reached our $20.5 billion.
Doubled? Wow. What was the growth rate on that?
It worked out to a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of 8.6%. Consistent, solid expansion, even in tricky economic times.
That's impressive for a big, established division. How did he manage that? What was the key?
Well, from what we can see, it was about sharp execution and really leveraging their Pan-African network, connecting clients across the continent. He also pushed for digital solutions for businesses, even before the pandemic made it urgent.
Okay, so a proven growth leader. Makes sense why Absa would want him.
Exactly. His appointment as Group CEO, starting June 17, 2025, is a major strategic move for Absa. He's taking over from Charles Rosen, the interim CEO.
And Rosen's staying on.
Yeah, and a senior role seems like to ensure a smooth handover. But Absa is clearly bringing in Fihla's institutional knowledge and growth credentials to face this new era.
So his reputation precedes him. Strategic thinking, strong African connections, good at handling complexity.
And he's known to be committed to digital transformation, financial inclusion, things banks have to focus on now. He's not ignoring the challenges.
But here's the thing. Absa is a huge established bank, maybe with older systems, a certain way of doing things. How fast can a giant like that really pivot compared to, say, Shoprite starting fresh in fintech?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fihla has the vision, sure, but traditional banks carry baggage legacy IT, huge branch networks. They're expensive to run, slow to change.
Their strengths are also maybe their weaknesses in this context, like regulation, trust, risk management.
Exactly. Those things are vital, but they can also slow you down when a nimble competitor comes along. So you have Engelbrecht, the energetic disruptor, maybe empathy-driven, carving new paths.
And Fihla, the calm, experienced strategist, deep banking knowledge, now needing to defend and adapt. Redefine what owning the customer means when the checkout line is the new front line.
The pressure on a leader like Fihla must be immense, facing a competitor from a totally different field, playing by different rules.
It's not just about products anymore. It's about who owns those everyday moments, who gets there first, most conveniently.
So you've got these two strategists, one building from the ground up almost, the other reinforcing an empire.
And they're meeting, not in the financial district, but yeah, right at the till, the checkout.
It's not abstract. It's a real fight for your wallet, your daily spending happening in the most ordinary places.
And Shoprite's money market. You called it a stealth platform. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it's more than just one product. It's becoming this whole little ecosystem.
Yeah.
Savings, payments, sending money home, all offered right there when you buy your groceries.
So every shopping trip is a potential touch point with financial services.
Pretty much. Millions of people interacting daily, often without thinking of it as banking, and that everyday access. That's the real threat to Absa's traditional hold on daily transactions.
Which usually happen where? In a branch, on a banking app.
Right. Engelbrecht's strategy cleverly bypasses all that.
The tension is real. You've got Engelbrecht using his frontline access, the supermarkets where millions gather. He turns shoppers into financial customers.
Well, Fihla has back-office dominance. The corporate HQs, the complex systems, the decades of trust, but maybe not the same daily reach.
One's meeting you where you buy milk, the other's defending a fortress. It's a battle for relevance as much as market share.
And think bigger than just these two companies. What are the ripple effects?
Yeah, what does this mean more broadly?
Well, you've got huge numbers of unbanked or underbanked people suddenly getting access through retail. You've got embedded finance booming, where financial stuff just blends into other activities like shopping. It's almost invisible.
Making it super convenient.
Exactly. And that's changing the whole financial landscape. What even is a bank anymore? What can a retailer become? The lines are just completely blurring.
Which brings us back to Absa and Fihla. Engelbrecht turns foot traffic into financial traffic, so Fihla has to decide.
Does Absa partner with these new players? Or try to beat them at their own game? Or risk getting sidelined in people's everyday lives?
It's kind of amazing that this huge challenge to banking is coming from a grocery store.
It forces the traditional players to really look hard at how they operate, what value they offer. It's a massive test of adaptation.
So this whole clash, this ongoing battle, what are the big takeaways for business students, leaders, even just for us watching?
I think there are some really clear lessons emerging. First, definitely the power of radical customer focus.
Just meeting people where they actually are.
Exactly. Not waiting for them to come to you. Shoprite brought finance to the checkout. Thinking outside your usual industry box can unlock huge potential, especially if you're solving real problems for people who've been overlooked.
Okay, lesson 1. Customer focus. Outside the box. What else?
Resilience and adaptation. For the big guys like Absa, they have to adapt. And fast. Not just tinkering, but maybe fundamental changes.
And for the disruptors like Shoprite?
They can't stand still either. They need to keep innovating, keep pushing, because now they're the ones with a target on their back. It's about constant evolution.
It also really highlights how industries are converging, right? The blurring lines you mentioned.
Absolutely. Retail and finance here. But it's happening everywhere. Healthcare and tech, transport and logistics. You need to watch for competitors coming from totally unexpected places now.
Your next big rival might not look anything like you.
Precisely.
And one more thing that strikes me, that business with heart idea.
Yeah, Engelbrecht's philosophy.
It's not just nice words. Focusing on affordability, inclusion, it seems to be genuinely driving their success, solving real problems for lots of people, especially the underserved.
It shows purpose can fuel profit. It builds loyalty, opens up markets. It's a powerful lesson. Doing good can actually be good business.
So where does that leave us?
Well, the battlefield is still changing. Fast. Maybe traditional banks will adapt successfully. Maybe everyday brands like Shoprite really will take over large chunks of financial services.
But either way, the future of finance in Africa, it's being shaped right now, right there at the checkout.
It's a story that's still unfolding, and it affects millions.
It makes you wonder, if the supermarket checkout can become a financial hub, what's next? Where else could disruption come from?
What other everyday thing could suddenly morph into a financial service?
It definitely encourages you, listening, to look at things differently. Pay attention to those small shifts happening around you.
Yeah, the future might be unfolding in places you really don't expect, in ways that feel both revolutionary and somehow strangely familiar.
You've been listening to Empire and Legacy, African Business Chronicles. Our hosts are Zuri Mwangi and Kwame Adeyemi. Main episodes are released each Monday. Our hosts delve deeper into the CEOs at the helm on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we explore the global perspectives, the standout businesses and CEOs, emerging trends and geopolitical developments, presenting both risk and opportunity. Empire and Legacy is essential listening for business professionals and leaders. Be sure to subscribe to be the first to know when new episodes are released. Until next time.